Greetings, everyone. Um, we hope everyone is having a great time because we are. Like we said earlier on, pay attention to the effects of the virus and not necessarily the virus itself. What you will expect to occur next after this isolation is over, of which it will last for over a month, and people wouldn't even believe how they'll go through these few months without when everything's shut down. And that's what's happening. And what you need to pay attention to are the systems that will be introduced after the isolation and that will be sneaked in during the period of the isolation. What you'll expect are mandatory vaccines and microchip implants. And they want it to point where sometime in the future, once you just give birth to a child, they just inject it with the GPS tracking, monitoring devices, and the vaccine to protect it from any form of viruses and promote the agenda to keep everyone in line so that way they can track those who are opposing the agenda of their organization. And this is what they have planned to introduce, but using the effects of the C virus to make it easier for humans to digest that idea and even rush to take this microchip implant. Some will have it here, some will have it in multiple places, and it will evolve into something like a tattoo or sticker, and this will make it easier for people to connect to the system and have a new banking system and have a social security number and also a GPS tracking device. So we have drones that will be monitoring everyone because there will be no need for police and there will be no need for judge and there will be no need for lawyers. There will be literally no need for you to fight to prove your right because clearly they've seen what a little freedom over the social media can create. It's created a lot of stir and they're really uncomfortable because right now the dynamics of the government is being affected and they can lose power. It depends on what they do next. And whatever action they take from our perspective is still them shooting their own foot. But it all depends on how humans react to this. Because what's happening right now is in the favor of the collective, but people are not paying attention to that. What they are paying attention to is the fear in the moment. Because, yes, your money system is changing, and there's a chance that you won't have the same amount that you think you have after the isolation is completed. So, that's why you notice that Canada is already imposing that they will be giving their citizens about 2,000 Canadian dollars a month, and that's to let people know that it's going to last for over a month. America has decided that they'll be paying $1,000, and many countries in Africa are confused because the government don't even know what's going on. They're just following orders. And so that's another idea about this limited system that Africans find themselves in. And most people think the solution is to go and withdraw their funds, but there's no back in the fact that paper money will be accepted after the isolation is completed. So you can forget about paper money and you can likely forget about jobs, most of them, because robots and artificial intelligence will be taking over the system of operation, and instead humans will be paid to exist because it's called human being, not human doing. So humans have to learn to live in a reality where they don't really have to do anything. You just be, and which is a good time to practice. And most importantly, change the way you're seeing what's happening right now because there was an attack on the collective to delete most people on the planet, and somehow the intelligence of the universe and the planet especially reprogrammed the virus to target those who sent the virus. Might seem amazing, but that's exactly what the universe has created just to ensure that humans, mankind, move past this old energy. And no matter what it takes, we're going to pull through. But try not to stay stuck in the fear based narrative. None of all this will affect you unless you attract it to your being. So instead of putting your focus on the fear or the what if that wouldn't happen, why don't you constructively direct your focus in the most preferred outcome? And here is what we're advocating, and we'd really like for humans to participate in this. And why don't you start visualizing that the C virus, the coronavirus, is targeting all those who are against the progress of the collective. Imagine and visualize that it's going against all the corrupt old energy government system cabal entities. Imagine that that's who the coronavirus is designed to target. Because you need to understand viruses are not, they are not organic substances, or they're not organic organisms. These are things that someone must have created. And when you create a virus, you have to target it specifically to get its direct host. Otherwise, you don't want to be affected by the virus. So when they create this virus, they choose the gender, the age, the race, the background, the epigenetics, the genetics, and the DNA sequence of the host, the preferred host that they would like to contaminate. So there's a plan to eradicate all the old human programs or containers on the planet who are still in fostering the old energy and against the new. So there's no better way to you know come to terms with them than to delete them. And there's no easier way to delete these people, specifically when they all exist within an age bracket, all exist within a kind of traditional practice, and there are many who are indulged in many negative things, including blood sacrifices. So you can easily target the virus to a specific host who are indulged in a specific practice, and imagine that's what's happening, and none of all this affects you because you don't drink blood. Or do you then you can then reprogram how you see the event, and hopefully the karma doesn't come to get you. But like, if everyone practice this with the law of attraction and start focusing their energy on what they expect to experience, and see this event as something good, it becomes to morph into that sequence, and you notice that things start changing. And these are things that we have experienced, and you're you're all aware of that by now. And it works easier with an expanded awareness. The expanded awareness comes from understanding that you deserve these great things. The expanded awareness comes from being feeling worthy of being a co-creator of the universe, and not seeing yourself as less than, and not seeing yourself as a victim to circumstances outside you, or you think that are outside your control. This puts power back in control of the people. So if a lot of people can, indulge in this exercise, it will really be profitable and a fun experience as well. So you can create it however way you want, and I'll be happy to read some of your comments as well, so we can, program that into the grid and see perhaps how the universe feels about it. Hopefully, there will be people who consider taking this seriously, as opposed to taking the old world seriously. So that way, we're able to control the outcome of this event. And there will be more. And honestly, there's so much more. And we're trying to put it all into one compact narrative. And we just still find ourselves running out of visual time. We'll return. We love y'all. Stay safe, stay sharp, and don't touch anything. But most importantly, don't be afraid. This virus has nothing to do with you. We love you. Namaste.